you though.
Come on.
We are live.
What's going on, everybody? Man, we back with another special episode, man. This is it's Vinyl Dead, man. We got somebody here today that's gonna prove to you that everybody that's ever used that phrase is a lie. We here to prove the truth, man, about this vinyl, man. You see the shirt down there, man. I'm your host, Seak, Parris. You can follow me at 12vegoneapparel. I'm gonna let my co-host introduce himself before we get to our guest.
Miketees, the second half of Squad Creator Podcast, and I got somebody knocking on my back door, which is weird. So
that is weird, but we in the middle of this show telling they gotta come back later. But so he had to leave. KK, tell us about yourself. What's going on?
Hello. Thanks for having me. I'm Keisha from Clever Creations, the artist and the teacher of everything I do on this page. What's up?
So, go a little brief. Just give them a little brief history, because a lot of people ain't gonna know, who we talking to and what you do.
Okay, so again, I am Keisha from Clever Creations. I specialize in HTV layering, better known as heat transfer layering on t-shirts and apparel only. That's all I do. When I say HTV layering or heat transfer layering, I mean placing one type of material or vinyl on top of each other. If it's not on top of each other, it is not HTV layering. You are just pressing a shirt. And so that's basically what I do. That's what I am an expert in. And I have also lately or recently, I have been known as the puff vinyl expert as well. And so I am happy to be here. And as you guys can see in my shirt, it represents really everything that I'm about. We have a combination of puff vinyl, which I am the expert of, as well as HTV layering. And so this is a great shirt for me to wear today so that we can dive deep into the things that I do, as well as the different things I incorporate into my shirts to make them pop and stand out.
So let's talk about it. What's going on? What's happening with that shirt there? That shirt is hard, though.
Well, this is one of my more popular shirts right now because, as we all know, Beyonce is in concert. And so I saw this SVG, and this is what I do with all of my SVG. So SVG files are the files that I use to create a lot of the content or a lot of the designs for the shirts that you see on my page. And so when I get the the SVG file, I pretty much add my own little spin to it or add little things to make it unique. And so with this particular shirt right here, the Beyonce that's on this shirt is something that I found online because I'm like, oh, she's in concert. Let me see what I could do to, sell some shirts or whatever. And so I already was doing this repeated text technique on my page. And so I just decided to incorporate that into this Beyonce SVG. And so I have a combination of puff vinyl, which is this top one. And then I have something that's called glow in the dark and reflective vinyl that I use for the repeated text. So the glow in the dark, that's something that you will see if you was to turn off the lights. However, the reflective material is more so for people that are in an industry, like maybe trucking, construction. A lot of people use those materials for that. So if I was to go outside right now, later on, and depending on where I'm standing, like my movement and everything, you'll be able to see that portion of my shirt as well. And so being in the Beyonce concert, this is perfect. These type of materials are perfect because if it's dark in there, you're going to stand out. Oh, yeah. And then we got the middle. So my middle is HTV layered, meaning I have several materials pressed on top of another piece of material. So my bottom layer, which you can't see, but I always use a base of regular materials for my base, and then I layer other things on top of it. So this is a combination of glitter, holographic, and just regular HTV on her body. And so, what else we have? Oh, and then we have the shade of brown, which I use a brand called Caesar brand the shades of brown, I always sprinkle a little black girl magic on everything that I do. And so this particular, almost everything that I do, I always incorporate some shade of brown, and I let my supporters or people that buy from me select the shade that best represents them or their child. And so this particular shade is called Latte by Caesar. And so that's the brand that I use for all of my shades. So we got a combination of a lot of different shades of brown that I offer. And so I chose this shade for my Beyonce. So that's what's one of my shades.
So I counted at least 6 different vinyls on that shirt.
It's difficult vinyls too. Don't just say regular vinyls.
Yeah.
All of that.
And it's like, so like the title said, man, is heat transfer vinyl dead? Like really real? Like most people say that's a lot, but when you look at that shirt, you're not getting that type of effect with DTF or plastisol transfer. None of that. Like, how long typically does it take you to do a shirt like that?
So, well, so for something like this that's already designed, so I already have it together. And if someone, because everything that I do is custom, and so you can change the colors or whatever, the shades of brown, whatever it is to your liking. And so the design process is not really that long. I'm gonna say about, I don't know, it's really fast. I could do this really quick. I'm just gonna say about 15 minutes or so. The cutting, because we are cutting different, I'm working on multiple orders at a time for the most part when I am doing my shirts. And so depending on how many shirts I'm working on at a time, it could take about 30 minutes or so, maybe less if I was just working on one shirt. And then the pressing, if I am recording, because the way that I record is in clips, so I don't have my phone just sitting on a tripod. Normally I'm recording from different angles, so that when I'm making my videos or editing my videos for content for Instagram or whatever platform I'm going to put it on, I want to make sure that I'm doing different things instead of just sitting in one spot. I want to show them up close what it is that they're going to be getting. So really what you see on my social medias, that's what you see in real life is. And so that takes about, if I'm recording, that's probably going to add time to me. So it's taking about 30 minutes or so to maybe just do one shirt if I'm recording. If I'm not recording, it's taking about 5 to 10 minutes because of the technique that I use. It's not taking any time to press this shirt because I already know in my mind that I'm going to be placing down multiple pieces at a time. I'm not going to do one piece here, one piece there. Right. I'm practically in my first set, I'm going to have all of this together.
Yeah.
So everything that I do is based on a technique, my specialized technique, which is also what I teach in my classes as well. So.
For sure. So let me answer this right quick. I'm just curious what that shirt go for.
So I'm charging $45 for this shirt, and almost.
Yes.
Well, the thing about it is, I don't really have an issue. People that buy from me, or my audience, meaning people that are meant for me, my ideal customer, they're not complaining about my prices anyway, because I know what it is that you like. I know what you're gonna like. I know what it is that you want. I incorporate those things up front. Meaning, so when you order a shirt from me, you don't necessarily have to ask me for glitter and all of those things because they don't know all the different materials that are out there. I'm the creator. I'm the artist. So I'm going to put that into my shirt anyway. And so, so you're going to pay for all of that. You know, I don't. And so, this
well worth it. Well worth it.
Before we continue, let me hit this comment section up. You brought a star-studded crowd out.
Ooh.
Clever Creations by Keisha Kelly, LLC owner. All right, look. Hey, Barb LaFon, good evening, everyone from North Central Minnesota. How you doing?
What's up, Barb?
Oh, hey,
Rodney Kelly, good evening. How are you doing?
What's going on?
Hey, Uncle. Hey,
that's Uncle. What's up, Uncle?
What's up, Uncle?
Hey, sis.
Give the hands
my girl Javaya right there.
Javaya, man, Javaya. I'm gonna have to tell you, man, don't be messing with my friend. He messed up. He messed up.
No. She gonna be on the show. Cheryl Kelly. Evening, everyone. Good evening.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, man.
And let me go on down.
With that said, thank you. Please like, share, and comment, man. We here every Thursday though, so you don't know who gonna pop up in that seat down there, man. Y'all tap in, like, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. Tell a friend and tell a friend we here.
That's good. That's really, really good.
The price is the price is what that comment said. It sure
price,
is.
Price, but I don't have that issue over here. I hardly ever get people asking me about the price. Like, I don't get that problem. I don't have that issue. So
the work stands out. It shows for itself.
It does. I really appreciate that.
Period.
So working with so many different vinyls and having to press, this is sort of similar to the same question, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm gonna just take it a whole nother. Which is your favorite out of all of them? Out of the glitters, the holographics, the mattes, which one is the one that you just have to have?
I think my fave is flock vinyl.
Flock?
It's so classic. It layers really, really good. It's very classic. It's the suede velvet type material. It's just, it kind of like fits my personality. Like, I'm real chill, but I stand out in a certain type of way. And so I love the flock vinyl. That's my fave.
Have you tried sublimation flock?
Who?
Sublimation flock.
Why would I need to use something like that?
Man.
45, you can go up to 65 with that sublimation flock.
Hey, look, man. Hold on.
So how would I incorporate that into my technique? I would layer it. What, like, sublimation would be me printing something, right? I don't do any of that with my shirts.
Okay.
Ever.
But did you catch
that? Javaya just tried to get me to print some stuff earlier today. I told her I'm not there yet. Like, I don't do the printing. So.
I felt it. I felt the Detroit come through or Chicago come through the screen.
Right.
Yeah. I felt it.
No.
Okay.
No, I think you're trying to start some stuff too, but no.
No, I ain't trying to start nothing. I promise to you I ain't trying to start nothing. I was just, inquiring on what to get every week. Okay, fly.
That's funny, man. Like, so look though, how did you get so gifted at vinyl? Where'd the skills come from?
My skills came from God. Like, I'm gonna always give him praise or recognition, because my prayer every day actually is, God, keep me innovative. Like, keep me with fresh ideas. Keep me with whatever it's gonna take to keep my audience coming, or keep my audience asking me questions, or keep them I don't know, just keep them impressed with what it is that I'm doing. And so I would say, first and foremost, like, I really feel deep down inside that's where it came from. Sure. But on top of that, like, so my son, he's 11 years old. And so I remember when I was pregnant with him and I was planning his baby shower, or planning our baby shower, everything that I was doing in the baby shower was just like personalized things. And so I personalized the whole little mom to be or parents to be baby shower, bumblebee theme baby shower. And then from there, I just started like getting into like events and stuff. And so everything that I did for him, for his school, for friends, was always in like craft related things. And so as I evolved in that, or as the years went on, I realized, well, I started pressing. So I'm going to say I started pressing things around 5-6 years ago. And so when I started pressing, I would press like bags and shirts. I really didn't know what I was doing. I was using a house iron at the time. And so again, I really didn't know what I was doing, but I was doing it. And so I realized I liked it. And so fast forward maybe a couple of years, I dropped off the event stuff. I started telling people I no longer do events. I was coming into myself, and I realized my personality is really more of a behind the scene. I'm just gonna say behind the scenes type person, meaning I don't really want to interact with people like that. And so, and it's for various reasons. I'm very black and white. It's not an in between with me. When you are doing events, it's just having to pick their brain. I don't want to think for you. I don't want to pick a color. I don't want to do any of those things. I want you to tell me what it is, and then I produce. And so that's really how I got into shirts, because I'm like, with shirts, it's not too much talking with it. Like, you tell me what it is that you want, and then I do it. And so back 2020 is when I like started doing like shirts, made it a business, or whatever, did what I needed to do to make it an official business. And then I remember it being Mother's Day, and I did like no, my first designs were like, it was Easter. And so I remember like doing these Easter shirts, and it was HTV layering just a little bit. I didn't know what I was doing, but I did had a design that was like kicking it with my peeps. So it was like the egg, or it was something with the Easter thing. So I sent it to like my family and my friends. It was like, send it to your people and see if they want shirts or whatever. After that, 420 came along. People got those type of shirts. Then right after that, it was Mother's Day. So Mother's Day, I didn't know what I was doing, but I picked a king, queen, prince, and princess type design. So, and it was with a face. And I remember like getting so many orders for that and having to find a shade of brown. At that time, the only shade of brown that was out was the Cricket brand. And so I had my experiences. Then I started like going on Amazon trying to find it. Right after that, it was graduation season, and then we were in COVID. And so my graduation design that I did was the girl, a HTV layer design again. Didn't know what I was doing for real, but at that time, it was something that went viral for me. So we all recognize being viral is something that's like bigger than what it is at that moment. So if you've never got 50 views, viral for you is 50 views. So at that time, I was new to social media and like promoting myself posting my stuff online. And so it went crazy for me. And so I was doing so many of those graduation shirts or whatever. And I loved what it was that I was doing. I was letting them tell me the colors that they wanted. I was on Etsy at the time. And so I let them tell me what colors they wanted for the girl, what colors they wanted for her cap. And I was doing my thing with that. From there, it was really up for me. But in the meantime, I was trying to figure out what it was that I actually liked or wanted to stick with the most. I knew layering was something that it was like, I really, really enjoyed doing it. I wanted to learn more about it. So, but as far as the design, like what I wanted to narrow it down to, I really couldn't put my finger on it. So I stuck with like, stuff with faces, African American centered things, those type of designs. And that's how I kind of like evolved into the whole melanin related thing. And here I am today. Well, that was just a couple of years ago. And here I am today, making that the only thing that I pretty much make. It has to have a face. We're going to incorporate some shade of brown in some type of way. And I know I fast forward a little bit, but that's pretty much like my story or whatever. Like I narrowed it down to what it was that I was going to actually be doing, and then I stuck with it. I practiced in between. I would make shirts for my family, friends, give them free shirts. You know, they'll wear a shirt until a letter. Every letter is peeled off of the shirt. But they're not going to necessarily tell you, oh, girl, like this shirt peeled. They're going to keep wearing a shirt. But in my mind, I was looking. Every time I would see something peeled, I would like take a mental note of where it was that I bought that vinyl from. Because I was like heavy into buying. I wasn't really familiar with brands a couple of years ago like that. So I was buying off of Amazon and any place that was going to get it to me quick. Going to Michael's, Hobby Lobby, all those brands. And so, but I was paying attention to the shirts, paying attention to the type of vinyl that I was using, paying attention to what peeled, paying attention to temperatures each and every time. And so here I am today after so much practicing and giving out shirts for holidays, for birthdays, for every time that it was an event or somebody's birthday, they got a shirt from me. That was how I got my practice in. And now I'm the expert. I can proudly say that I'm an expert in my field because I know what temperatures it takes to do certain things. And I've worked with certain brands, and now I just stick to certain brands with certain things, and I evolve. I just pretty much do my thing from there. So that's my story.
Are you doing consultations and classes or personal courses with people that want to learn?
Yes, absolutely. So I've always taught classes or taught people, but December was like my official like coming out to social media thing, like showing them, doing classes last December. Since then, I've done classes every month. So January, February, March, maybe April, I did group classes. Great turnout for my classes. However, the group setting, especially with it being virtual, I realized that it was more draining on me. I love the classes. However, I think with having so many people in the classes, you got different age groups, people from all over. Like, I'm blessed to actually have so many people like interested in what it is that I'm doing. But having like, you got computers, people having different weather conditions. It was so many things going on in those classes that was just like draining me afterwards. And I never displayed that during my classes, but it was something that I was taking note of after the class. And so some of my classes would go over. I would give them an additional day for my group classes because I would feel like, oh, we couldn't finish, and I'm not one of those teachers. It's something that you paid for, so I'm not going to leave you and stuff like that. I will actually wait on them to get their computer started back up and all those types of things. So after I did that for 4 months, I realized, like, you know what? I need to focus and like just do one-on-one. So since then, I've only done one-on-ones, and that's what I'm going to stick with. I might pop out with a group class in January because that's my birthday month, and I just want to do
January
something
what?
People. January 5th.
That's my birthday.
You lying?
For God, that's my birthday. Yeah, look at us. Look. Skip y'all little Midwest double teaming me on the Midwest. Man.
It don't matter. It's on the same side, right?
Double fifth something here, man. Capricorn representing.
That is so funny.
It is coincidental.
Yeah, I might pop out with some type of special because by January my class prices are going to be double what they are now. So currently I charge $550 for my classes, but it's time to increase that because I'm very much worth it. And so my presence really going to be limited, and so my classes are going to be a little more come next year. I'm probably going to be incorporating a lot of different things than what I do now, of course, with raising the price. But I do know for sure come January, I might come out with a group class just to start to kick the year off and give some type of special because it's my birthday month, and the price is gone. Price is definitely going to be increased. So that's what I do now. So it's just strictly one-on-ones for me right now, and I enjoy that. It's the same price as my group class. However, you get to have me, you get to have KK to yourself, and I cater your HTB layering class to your needs. I know what it is that you need, but I know I typically ask the person what it is they want to learn or if it's a design they want to do. And then I teach from beginning to end. I teach the editing process. You learn how to press. The pressing process is really what you need to know. But I also go over how to edit the design, how to make it your own, and all of those things in my classes. And so they're usually 5.5, 6 hour classes. So you got a choice of doing it in one day or breaking it up into 2 days. So.
That's dope. That's dope. But before I ask a question, You like the third person in my whole life I met with the same birthday as me. That's dope to me right there.
That is. That's pretty good.
And I just want the world to know we are special people.
Absolutely.
You about to
I
brag
agree.
on
You know, we special people, January 5thers, if that's even a word.
We are.
What all equipment you working with back there? Because I'm pretty sure everybody want to know, like, what's the heat press, what's the cutter, what we working with?
So the heat press that I'm not really into brands and all of that. Doing all because it really goes against what it is that I teach. I don't mind the brands sending those things to me, but when I'm teaching my students, a lot of them are beginners. And we know we're being in the social media space. Social media is a bunch of pretenders and people that, are just basically put on the front for people. And so I always tell my students, like, you can do what I do with a house iron. So I never really show them or tell them what it is that I have or what it is that I'm working with, because I don't want you to feel like you need to go buy all of this stuff in order to achieve what it is that I'm doing. Baby, make you some money first.
Listen to that. That was a great message. Great message.
Yes, make you some money first and then come back and buy and add on to the things that you have, because all of those things doesn't matter. And so you'll never see me, saying all of that. But I tell them you can start off with a house iron and still achieve, maybe not the puff vinyl part, but the things that I do on my page, the things that I show, you can start off with a house iron and you can still achieve this perfect look that I have here. So what you see here is this heat press that I have. I tell people like all the time, I got this heat press from eBay. It was probably like one something, and it came with all those pieces. Y'all know I'm not shirts. I only do shirts. I'm not into all the other stuff, and so I ain't never touched none of that stuff. But this heat press came from eBay, and it's been doing this job for I think like 3 years now. So until it break down, that's what it's gonna be. I do have another heat press because HTV Run sent me a heat press, so I have that. I really enjoy working with that heat press as well. I love having the two different types of heat press because I'm able to teach the puff vinyl technique using both of those, and to show them, baby, it's no tricks or magic tricks that I'm doing over here. Like, really what you see in my videos is what be going on in real life. So this is not branded. It's just a regular heat press. What you see right here, that's all my puff vinyl. And then I have a lot of other vinyls on the other side of the room and a whole little setup or whatever. And
so you said you teach the puff vinyl technique. Talk about that a little bit. I'm just curious on what do you do?
Well, before I even talk to you about the puff vinyl technique, I do want to go over like one of my biggest accomplishments this year so far, and that was me writing my ebook. That's the Perfect Puff ebook. I'm very, very happy and proud of the success that I've had. I launched my ebook on July 2nd, and it's been doing this thing, and so I'm very, very happy about that. So, the Perfect Puff ebook, or what it is that I teach about puff vinyl, is how to achieve the perfect puff in 5 steps. And so those 5 steps, my first P is patience. You gotta have patience in everything that you do. Patience is gonna take you a long way. The 2 things that I love doing the most, which is HTV layering and using puff vinyl, those techniques are 2 of the things that people love to see, but they don't want to put in the time to actually achieve or get this great look that you see me with. And so if you don't have the patience, these are the 2 things you don't want to do. You're gonna get mad, you're gonna be ready to give up before you even get to the good part. And so patience is number 1. Practice. Like, they think that I did this overnight. I was practicing with puff vinyl the beginning of last year, like about 6 months before they even saw it on my page. I didn't even present it to my page until July of last year. So I was washing with it, pressing different things with it, using different brands, trying to see what it is that I like about it, washing, drying, doing all those things. And the reason that I did all of that is because, 1, I'm very big on quality control. And so you really can't play with me on my page about nothing that it is that I do, because before you saw it, I probably already washed with it
Right.
10, 15 times before I even sold it to you. So nobody can play with me about what it is that I do or none of my techniques or anything, because I don't just sell anything. And so practice is my second thing. So I practice with everything that I do. Placement is very, very important. Where you place that puff vinyl, where you place your shirt at on your press, plays a major, major part. As you all know, because y'all do apparel, the heat is not, you're not getting a lot of heat or the maximum heat that you can get if you're putting anything on the edges of your plates. And so placing that puff vinyl in the correct place plays a major, major part. So we got patience, practice, placement, press. So press time and temperature. Those two things, you gotta master that press time and temperature. On my page, I'm gonna give you a starting temp and time, but this is with my press. That's what worked for me.
Right,
you gotta try it out with your press. And if you like, what I teach them is you can start at the maximum temperature that brand give you. So Atlanta Vinyl, their maximum temperature is about, I think, like 315 or so, 320. I'm never turning my press up that high for anything that I do. Nothing. Not even this. I'm never turning my press up to 320. But you can start at 320 and then work your way down 5 to 10 degrees. Don't go down too much, because in that time period, you want to see its cause and effect. If I got it at 320 for this amount of seconds, what is it that it's doing? Take a mental note, take physical notes to see what it is that it's doing to your clothing or to your puff vinyl, and you know what to do or what not to do for the next color or whatever. And so press time, press temperature plays a role as well. So what I say, practice, patience, placement,
pressure.
I'm missing one. Hold on.
So I'm glad like you broke that down, because people feel like because they got a heat press and that number that's on that in them instructions is what they have to do. My heat press, me and Miketees had the same heat press, and I press some vinyl at 320, and that's the only what works for me. But he can do the same vinyl at 310 to get the same effect, because his heat press, as in all heat presses aren't equul. And
They're
people
not.
don't understand that.
Yes, they are not. My last one, which is my my fourth number, 4th P, pressure. High pressure is major. Pressure and placement and time, all of those things, your pressure, if you have to have high pressure. So if you're using a heat press that's similar to this with what is this called? Like a clamshell type heat press. One of those. You want to make sure that you are turning the knob on it to make sure that it's as tight as it could possibly go. But on the flip side of that, if you're using something like a HTV Runt heat press, that one does not come with pressure already. It doesn't come with a pressure setting. So you got to create your own pressure. So what I teach is, in order to create your own pressure, you're going to have to go on Amazon and go to somewhere and get you 2 more of those silicone mats and put in there. And then you should start seeing better results or whatever. And so those are my 5 P's of the perfect press in my book. I have videos and all of those things in my book.
Where can we pick up this book?
The book is dope. The book is $67.
Okay, where can we get it? Where can
you get it?
Yes.
Oh, so my book is linked in my bio on my Instagram page.
All right. So is it through Etsy or somewhere, or just that link?
So it's on Sam's cart. So they have to get it. They have to get it through using the link in my bio. And the reason is because I took my website down because it's so many things that I'm trying to do, and so I can't have my website at this moment because I'm so busy, and I don't want people just placing orders right now because I'm way too busy. So I only take my orders through DM, and I take limited orders through DM. And so they gotta use the link in my bio or whatever. Or if they inquire, I send them the link to my book. So that's how
I'm gonna ask this question right now because
I'm scared.
no.
Bro.
This
You
is,
killing it.
I'm trying
Dropping
to
gems
tell
and
you.
everything.
Look, I feel like I'm in school right now myself. I didn't learn some. I've actually learned something from you just listening to you talk. But
That's good.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I said I think that's great that you've learned from me in this short amount of time.
For sure. For sure. I'm gonna ask this question though: is heat transfer vinyl dead?
Oh, why
Let's hear it.
would you think
Let's
like
hear
that?
it.
Why would
And
you ask
Wow.
think
I'm saying, like, people said it was dead. DTF came and all that stuff. They said heat transfer vinyl was dead. I ain't heard nothing dead about it. Talking to this young lady right here,
for real?
I think she
Wow.
was one of
But
everybody that ever said it was dead. I'm just saying, you know.
I'm just gonna say this.
Uh,
DTF could never look like this. Sublimation
no,
could never look like this. I never knock another person's technique because whatever you feel like you need to do to make your process easy, or if that's what you want to do, I'm all for it. However, over here, we're gonna HTV layer over here.
period.
Y'all techniques could never look like this. And
Huh.
y'all
Period.
could never ever, like when I say the vibrance and the colors, like the holographic, the glitter gonna shine. Holographic is gonna shine. The puff vinyl effect, like you gonna see all of that. Like those
Period.
other techniques, you get one thing, and I don't see anything different, or I haven't seen anything different. And it could be because I don't really be paying attention to y'all techniques like that.
Huh.
But y'all techniques could never look like this.
I
And so
appreciate
to answer your question,
Yeah, I appreciate that real tough. I mean,
to
really.
answer your question, no, absolutely not. Because, baby, I'm going to tell you like this. My Instagram, the HTV layering that I'm doing over there is growing. Like, I'm talking
Period.
about,
Period.
I'm sorry, I keep having
what's up.
I'm having
Yeah.
these little clicks, these outbursts, and these claps because I thought, what I'm saying, I feel exactly the same way you do. I know you see the big machine back there, but I got just as much vinyl. I got enough vinyl to fill up this whole store. I got a question for you.
What's up?
Now we know vinyl isn't dead at all.
Period.
Is there any other print method that could compete with vinyl? And is vinyl scalable? You think you can scale it up to a bigger, all the way up to the top?
She just answered one of them questions.
I feel like I can scale all the way up to the top. I can make as much as it is I want to. So you got to understand, everybody is not trying to become millionaires. Everybody don't have the same end goal. So I feel like even if it's 1,000 shirts or whatever the case, there is always a team or whatever. But when it comes to the press, I got to be behind the press. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like it is scalable. It kind of depends on what it is that you do. Me and my process and how I operate is through processing times. So I could take as many shirts as I want to. I'm gonna give you a processing time for each thing that I do. My general processing time is 5 to 10 business days, but I get to pick and choose what it is that I want to do in the amount of time that I want to do it in. And so
Right.
I don't know. To me, I feel like it is. What was your other question?
You kind of already answered it, so I don't even need to play it back. Yeah, but you answered that one to the fullest, very thorough. Thank you for answering that because I've been asked that often. Like, you can really scale your business with vinyl. I'm like, it's vinyl though. I don't know. I feel the same passion as you do with this vinyl, this TV.
Period.
Yes. I feel like you can go as far as you want to go with whatever technique it is. But I mean, the reality is with using the other techniques, yes, you can do a certain amount of shirts in a certain amount of time. But let's be realistic about that. The shirt, like after a certain amount of washes and all of that, because I've had shirts with those techniques on there. To me, it doesn't give the same. Like I feel like after washing these shirts, it's not changing. The vinyl is not changing.
The color, none of it. Yeah.
Huh?
I said you don't lose color or none of that.
No, there isn't any fading or anything. Even when I'm washing stuff that I've done with puff vinyl and all of that, when I layer which is I don't layer puff vinyl often because I just really I feel like it's just too much to my process, and so I don't layer it often. However, it is like buzzing on my page right now because of the little girl's hair that you see, and I only do that for the hair. Other than that, I'm not layering my puff vinyl because I don't. I just really don't be wanting to do that all the time. So, but even with washing that, like I can wash that and it still puff up. Like I have a little girl here. Like this little girl. Well, I made this to prove a point on my page, but so that's why it has my name on it. But like her hair on here, and of course I made her skin is mocha. That's by Caesar as well. But yeah, like her hair is like puff vinyl or whatever. And so
that's you cold with it, like
past cold
like Debo when it comes to the vinyl stuff, huh?
But this is years of I'm gonna always say practice. This is years of me paying attention to what it is that I'm doing, just like really paying attention to the brands that I'm using and all of those things. Like I really applied myself. I don't know if it was more intentional back then as it is now. I'm very intentional now, but back then I just was really just paying attention to what it was that I was doing and paying attention to those brands. And so when I say don't buy from Amazon, I'm not meaning don't buy from Amazon. I mean, when you get on Amazon, pay attention to certain things. But you know, when I make that statement on my page, of course, it comes with like I have to explain to all these people in the comments, the Amazon buyers. No, it's not that. I'm not telling you not to buy off Amazon. I'm telling you, look at the reviews. So before you come back over here to say anything to me, look at the reviews. Look at the people who's posting these things. Now, granted, a lot of them don't know what they're doing, and you know they really don't. They're okay with the crinkly look. I'm just gonna say with puff vinyl, but a lot of the times the brands are not quality brands. So if I tell my students all the time, if you're gonna be using certain brands or using things off Amazon or anywhere, make sure it's quality. Make sure that you know what it's gonna do when it washed, because the most embarrassing thing there could be is for you to sell something to somebody and it, you know, them having to come back to you and be like,
a letter
peeled after the first wash, what happened or whatever. And so I just I paid attention to all of those things before even becoming like a social media. Well, we're gonna influencer. I guess I'm an influencer.
Most definitely are. That's a title you gotta uphold and shout it to the rooftops, because
I'm gonna tell you how I know you an influencer.
It's a lot of people in this comment section.
I'm gonna tell you how I know you an influencer, right? So I was who you was communicating with in the DMs to get the videos and all the logo and all that stuff. So
listen,
look,
I did not feel like y'all fully represented Clever Creations, so I had to make sure
I see it. I
the right way.
I
am particular about what I attach myself to.
And
all of those things. Like I don't play when it comes to my name and my craft and all of those things. If we're gonna put something out, we're gonna put it out the right way. Like I'm gonna represent Clever Creations how I should represent Clever Creations.
I appreciate you.
I'm like, send me your logo.
Clever Creations.
Hold on, no, not Clever K, right?
No,
not Clever K.
No, Clever Creations by Keisha Kelly LLC.
He's giving up governments and everything.
But I said this when I started reading through those messages, because we both can see the messages. The squad creators is together. So I'm like, there's a formula to her, to how she, you know.
Yeah, he just said that. He said that.
I'm like, I got to pick your brain real quick. This is off subject. I know we're gonna get back to the vinyl. I promise. What's the formula? Can you give us some tidbits on the formula? Like
the formula to my content, the formula to how I operate,
to how you post. No, to how you post your
content. And one thing I want to say is, let's shout out your people. They love you.
Yes, they
do. They
love you.
You know what? I'm gonna say this because I don't know. I can't see who's on here, but I'm gonna say a lot of my success is because of my support system. And I know that might sound crazy, or a lot of people may think, oh, well, you know, a person didn't make you. Nobody can take credit for my talents. However, I've had people pick my son up from school. I've had people go to the store for me. It's been a lot of different things or support that I've received from my family and my friends to help in the success of Clever Creations. And so a lot of my success is because of certain, you know, individuals or whatever that I have in my life. And so I think I can't like honestly say like a lot of people have played a major part in who I am and how I'm able to run my business. I can't say that. But as far as my posting, you said it's a
certain time. What time is
man, I woke up to you made that clip and we put us on. I woke up to 132 notifications yesterday morning.
Listen, it's not.
I said, whoa. And it was all from that post. I said, oh, yeah. I said, she mean business. And then it's like one thing, it was, at first I was like, oh, yeah, she going to be tough. But then I realized, like, you understood the assignment.
Yes.
Fully understood.
Most people don't understand it. Most people don't understand it. They don't look at it as like they're promoting themselves.
That
you know?
Yeah.
They don't look at it like we done brought you on here to talk about you.
No.
You know what I mean? You understood the assignment. I so appreciate it.
That's what's up. So when it comes to my posting, so I'm just gonna give a little backstory on this. I'm like one of those people that was just like, before I got really in deep into social media, I was just like, oh, people can tell, my friends can tell, you know, my people repost me. That was really my mindset. But I knew coming into 2022, my business needed more from me. And in order to give my business more of me, I needed to like get into social media. Like I would post stuff on Snap or whatever and post stuff on Instagram. And it was nothing behind really what it was that I was doing except me just posting my work. And so I would say like January of last year, after doing research, because I'm very particular about who I deal with. And I have like, my discernment is like top tier. And so I can identify, I don't play. So, and I don't play by myself. And so I did research, and because we all know how the social media space is. There's a lot of scammers, people try to take your money, stuff like that. So I narrowed down a social media person to help me like get better with social media. And so this was in February. I met with her 3 times last year, but each time that I met with her, we set like realistic goals for myself. Realistic for me is not necessarily what's realistic for the next person. So me, like I'm working, I got a son I got to take back and forth to school, I have all these other things going on, and so me, I'm already knowing wasn't into social media. I'm not about to be posting every day. I'm not gonna, that wasn't realistic for me. But we did set our very first meeting, we did set a goal for me to post about 3 times a week. From there, when June came around, we set more goals, and then in the fall we set some additional goals. So I started off with like 100 and something followers in January. By July, I probably had like, I don't know, probably, I really don't know how many I had by July, maybe like a little more. And then I joined TikTok at the end of July. At some point, my TikTok immediately went off because of, I guess, the HTV layering and the puff vinyl that I do. So every video that I posted on TikTok, it immediately took off. However, on Instagram, it was kind of slow motion for me. I had deleted that whole page in January, and I just wanted to start off fresh. Come July, I was really like into my posting, but it really wasn't nothing behind it, honestly. It wasn't until, I'm going to say, the end of October of last year is when I like posted a breast cancer. It was the end of breast cancer awareness month. My cousin had bought a shirt, and I waited until probably like October 31st or something to post it. And I'm like, this is my last shirt of the season or a breast cancer awareness month. And, you know, here's this shirt. That shirt went crazy for me. And since then, my page has been growing rapidly. Now, when it comes to my posting, there's like, I'm random. I'm super random. Like there's nothing, like not a calendar is nothing to what it is that I do except me like creating the content and putting it together. Like I pay attention to my analytics sometimes, like the amount of time, the amount of seconds that they're actually watching. So I try not to go over those seconds because I'm very aware of the mind and how long and people, you know, you have to do. I know my audience, so on TikTok I can explain some stuff. I love TikTok for tutorials and things like that. Instagram is not my platform for that, even though they try to push me into that. And so I don't do long videos on TikTok, but I also pay attention to my comments. So each piece of content that I create is really based on questions that they ask me. Now, when I'm making the shirts, I don't have that in mind. Like, so when after I see questions that they're constantly asking, I make sure I put that type of content. Or so like if a person is constantly asking me like, I don't know, how can I make my puff vinyl a little better? I will probably put like text on and so I'll say, wondering how you can make your puff vinyl better, your shirts better. I would probably say something like, use my 5 P's, maybe placement plays and then in my caption, I always expound on things in my captions because I know the questions that they're going to constantly ask me. So I try to put it in the captions. I know they're going to be asking me what all materials you use. So I tell them every single thing in the caption. And that's just really how I do my content. It's really nothing behind it, but creating content is so easy for me now. Like I can just sit somewhere and I have all my videos. I have videos from back then and I remember all of the videos that I've done. I've even remember when I was practicing puff vinyl and I have all those videos still. And so I'm posting videos now from this time last year. People don't know unless you've been here with me.
Right.
But it's creating like a lot of buzz on my page right now because people don't really know about puff vinyl. They don't know how to use puff vinyl. And it's like, oh, I see this girl using layering hair. Like, how are you doing that? And the offset method that I use a lot with my puff vinyl, that's something I was doing this time last year, that's like buzzing now. But yeah, it's not a method to my madness. I really just random. It's not a time of day. I'm really just random when I post.
It really seems like it's formulated, though.
It's not.
I feel like it really is. See, I got my book out when you started talking. Because listen.
It is formulated in my way, but I don't think that is like, oh, I get up.
It's working. Your way is working,
12 o'clock. Yeah, I don't have. There's not a formula to it. I post at random times just so I can see, you know, when I should or I know if I want to sell something, I'm going to probably post that closer to maybe like the end of the week. Because if I post it, well, no matter what I post, they're going to want to buy it anyway. But people get paid on Fridays. And so they be ready to spend their money. And so I could, post, if I'm posting something new, I want to post it closer to the end of the week. But I really don't have like, I am grateful. I'm thankful that anything that I post, my DMs go crazy. Like no matter what it is that I'm posting. And I'm blessed to have the talents that I have to, bring that type of attention to myself, whatever. Like, I'm happy about that.
So can we address the other horse in the room then?
No.
Are you ready? We're gonna take it. I'll do a couple comments and then we'll get right to it. All right.
Wait, what did you just ask me?
Can we address the other horse in the room?
What we talked about?
Yeah. No.
And what's that?
YouTube.
Oh yeah, you can talk to me about YouTube.
All right, I will in 1 second. I do creations. She's the truth. Gifted hands. Gifted hands is what I'm gonna leave it at until we have that interview. All right. I love KK's energy. Me too. It just rubbed off on me and it made me speak better. My vernacular. I feel like I'm clear. My camera ain't even glitched, ain't jumped or none of that. Just talking to KK, all right? Ronnie Kelly, the sky is her limit. Literally.
I love that.
Vanessa
Yeah.
Kelly, loving it. Julian S, she's definitely on point. That she is.
Thank y'all.
Cheryl Kelly, that's it. KK, encourage yourself. She encouraged
Yes.
the whole
Yeah.
world,
Yes.
all of us, literally. But the horse that's in the room, you do all of this on Instagram and TikTok, and you're very well known. It just seems natural that you would be in front of a YouTube camera or a community, just having your way with the YouTube, because you have that about you. So I know once you get on that platform, you're gonna rule too. So what's up? What's up with the YouTube?
So this year has been a year of me like coming out of my shell. And last year I was like getting into social media and everything. This year was more so about me doing things like this, me releasing things and showing myself more on the internet. I am very like, y'all don't never see me on my page, so I always thought, well, up until now, really, that like I really needed to be in the forefront, like be behind the camera to do what it is that I do. And I don't want to be behind the camera, but the way that my social medias go, I guess because I've already created a platform of me not necessarily showing myself like that, I can say now that I will probably be comfortable with running a YouTube page with just that type of technique, like me not necessarily having to show my face. And the
You can do that on YouTube as well.
But the voiceovers were hard for me too. And so last year, like I don't really like my voice. And so last year I started doing voiceovers. I noticed like from last year to now, it's a lot of growth. Like what me talking over my videos is natural to me now. And so I'm evolving every day. There's so many things. I do have a list of goals, and YouTube is one of the things that's on there. I need to get on YouTube because I always get messages from people saying that my videos are over there. And so I have been on there, and I've had to tell people to take my videos down. And I really don't care about reposting it. It's companies because we know what the puff vinyl is doing because of how I've showed it on the internet. And so there's companies posting my puff vinyl videos, and the way that they are reposting it is like buy from us type thing, as if I bought that puff vinyl from them. So because you're not being honest, you're being very deceitful in the way that you're posting my video as if it came from your company. So now you got to take it down. Here's the owner. Right. I'm here now. So I do address I do go on there from time to time and have them take my videos down. And so I guess I do need to get on there because those people are getting paid for my videos. And so
your videos
I do need to get paid.
Your videos will get you paid. We both been a victim of them stealing our stuff. Seak and I both, and just putting it on random commercials and do whatever. Yeah. We like, hold on, wait a minute. Where's my check in?
Exactly.
You warrant that. You got that personality to where I'm telling you, go ahead and make it possible. Rachel,
even reposting your Instagram post, TikTok post over there as shorts. Mm-hmm. That's a way to get your foot in the door on YouTube until you're ready. But also, you don't even have to show your face if you don't want to. You can still do the hand videos and the voiceovers and all that on YouTube as well, in long form content. People still gonna watch.
Yeah.
Like you got a gift, share that and share it. Get out there, get on that YouTube. It's a big place for you over there.
I'm getting there. I'm gonna get there. Like I said, it is on my list of things to do. I've accomplished so much this year. I've put out so much. I mean, I don't know how long you all have been on my page, but there are some great things that I've done this year that I've brought to my page. I'm just gonna shout myself out because from the beginning of the year now, I think I have done a lot of great things. From working with different companies, I'm happy to say that I do have some collaborations and things like that I've done with companies, and I'm happy about that. But as far as my products, I did my Valentine cardigan, which was not even supposed to be a thing. I have 2 brand ambassadors, so I have 2 little girls who, model my shirts from time to time when I'm able to get them together to take their pictures and everything. And so, one of my brand ambassadors, Kobe, I just happened to buy a cardigan from Target, and I put the design on the cardigan, but it really wasn't meant to sell like that. I meant to just put it on a t-shirt because that's what I sell. That went crazy for Valentine's Day. And so I had these boxes that I wanted to do for Valentine's Day, which would consist of the shirt, a melanin like hair bow that was from another Black owned business that I bought bows from, candy, and I think some sunglasses and bracelets. Well, I wasn't able to release the boxes because when I started selling the cardigan, even though I sold the cardigan for a nice amount because it's the cardigan, I was able to incorporate my boxes into that as well. And so they ended up like as an upsell type thing. And so they ended up buying those. And so I never got to post my boxes to sell because they had already sold out with the cardigans. And so that was something really great that I did this year. My graduation stoves, that was my first time. So I did a graduation stove. It was my first time doing one of those. Posted it to my page. And when I say it went crazy for me as well, like I was not expecting. In my mind, I bought the graduation stoves off Amazon, and I think I couldn't find one. So I got a pack of 24. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll do this one and post it. And it was one that I did for my cousin. He was graduating from kindergarten, and I like cater to kids, and so I did the one, posted it on my page, and from there, I don't know what I was thinking with putting incorporating all the things that I put into my shirts. That's what's on the grass though, and so from there they went crazy. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I got 24, so I could do 24. I ended up selling I think I sold 2 packs of those, and so my graduation stoves. So that went into Juneteenth. Juneteenth is usually always big for me, but it wasn't as big this year because of how the my grass stoves went crazy. So, and I didn't have any systems in place. So I learned a lot of lessons, and I know what I'm going to do differently next year when I do bring them back in a different type of way. But Juneteenth, I sold things, but it wasn't as big as my normal years. But then there was the Black Women Are Dope design with the drift design
that's hard.
So that particular design, I had no interest. That's not even nothing I do on my page. Atlanta Vinyl, they don't sell shirts. They just, sell the vinyl. So they was tagging me in when people would ask, because they did that first. So they were tagging me when people would ask for the shirts. And so once I started posting it, and I posted, of course, I don't care if they tag me in it with them tagging me in it, but of course I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do it different. I'm gonna add my own little spin to it. So when I did it, I incorporated the different shades of brown, and people love that. And that was around Mother's Day and Juneteenth as well. So I was able to do like a mom and me type thing for that. So that was successful. My drip dope design was successful. My book, of course. I did varsity jackets. That was another thing. And then, do y'all know Kimmy's Creation, the one that does the food?
I'm not familiar.
She be like, all right, bye. She be doing the
But anyway,
so she's a big, I don't know if she consider herself a chef, but she's big in social media. And so she's ordered from me, like I've done three orders for her. Like she got the graduation stove for her son. She originally ordered the dope shirts, then she came back and got the grass stove, and then I did the apron for her recently. And so that was pretty major for me because it's like, girl, you got all these like millions of followers, and how you see my page? And so that was pretty exciting. What else did I do? I think that's it. But I have so many things that's coming up. I cannot wait and that's why I limited my orders, because I really want to do the things that it is I want to do. And so I can't wait to show y'all what I have coming up over the next few months or whatever. So it's very exciting. And so, yeah.
So what's the process for you creating these designs? Like what's your creative process look like?
Well, I'm not a designer. So a lot of my designs come from Etsy. So I just buy a lot of the designs that I do.
But no, I mean like you might get by the design itself, but you put your spin on them. What's your process of coming up with the ideas?
I think the number one thing that comes to mind is because I see a lot of things online. So I think my number one thing is I don't want nothing nobody else got on. And so I'm going to always do something different to make my stuff different, even if we're using all the same things. And it's funny that you asked that question because at first I really had this hard time with the whole influencer term. So at first I was just like, everybody is just doing everything that I do now or whatever, like this, like a while ago or whatever. Like, why is this person? But I had to realize, like, especially with teaching, that's something I promote with my students. Like, I don't mind my students doing it, but I came out of that and I embraced the influencer title a little more because it's like, girl, these people have never seen this type of thing done before. You are really talented. Like, I started patting myself on the back because I'm like real behind the scenes and just quiet, and I let my work make the noise for me. And so I started embracing it a little more and understanding that they're not necessarily copying what it is that you're doing. You're actually putting out something that's great, and they want to be great. And that's really what I promote. I push everybody that comes under me, I push them to be as great as me. If you need help with anything or whatever, I'm going to make sure I give you all the necessary tools that you need to be as successful as me. And so, yeah. So as far as the design process, I don't really like think. I just sit down and I see a design and I just know I'm going to, at that time, what it is that I'm going to do to make it mine. And so we already know that I'm going to incorporate all different types of stuff. Like this could just very well be a plain shirt or whatever, but it's the vinyls that I put in there to like really make it what it is. And so I just make sure I do that with every single shirt that I make, all of them.
Wow.
Yeah, you cold with it. Like, it's dope. Like, he told me about you and I seen it. I was like, wow. Like, it was like mind blowing to see that you just use vinyl.
I've been stocking for like the last 2 years. Well, a year, I should say. I don't know if it was 2. I ain't gonna lie. I know a year and a half I've been stalking. In a good way, y'all. Don't internet crazy me. But
that's what's up.
Like, sharing your posts and stuff, because once I seen it, I was taken back. Ain't nobody at this point that I can think of been working with vinyl like you have, other than me. Because I tell people about weeding, and everybody running screaming like, "Oh my God, that's the worst thing in the world! I could never." Ain't true. But that's the first thing they tell me. I could never.
I get
what
that.
Vinyl cutter are you using?
Huh?
What vinyl cutter you use?
You gonna laugh at me when I tell you?
No.
I use a Cricut.
You getting to it? That's all.
I knew that. I ain't gonna laugh though.
No, you can't. You can't.
I almost got killed over talking about people's Cricut.
Stay straight face right there.
The Cricut can send me they can send me their newest machine.
Man.
They can send me that big one.
Y'all better tap in with the queen of the lifetime. Say century no more. Y'all better tap in.
We waiting on Cricut new machine too. HTV Ron's new machine. We waiting on all of them. Caesar's new machine.
I am waiting on HTV Ron.
And Romeo.
They claimed they was gonna send me HTV Ron claimed they was gonna send me that machine. So I'm still waiting on that as well. They even said they was gonna send me a the tumbler maker or something.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
They
I'm not
probably
into
will,
all
though.
that, but I can collaborate. I have friends. Most of my friends have businesses and they are crafty. They're into all the other stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll collaborate with one of my friends. We'll get together and create content or whatever whenever I receive all of that. So
They
like
probably will, though.
you want to collaborate?
I want to collaborate on a Squad Creators podcast. We got this whole thing going on. It's not going to be a podcast. It's actually be like, I don't know, something we could come up with. Now, I know my layering skills ain't quite, clever creations, but I'm up there with you. You know what I'm saying? I got a little smoke.
It is okay. It's okay.
Look, she's like, man, she ain't worried about you, brother.
Yeah, I know.
She's like, take 2, 3, 4 seats right now for you to try me.
No, I don't think like that.
Yeah, like fair, raw for it. Talk your stuff. I can't say George. I gotta say KK. Talk
she is the best, hands down. Talk your talk, KK. Real talk. Yeah, the HTV run though, they probably gonna see that, man. They pretty good about taking care of their people.
Mm-hmm.
And then since we own HTV run, man, come call at the Squad Creator Podcast, man. I keep shouting y'all out in these videos, man. Come talk to us, man.
Exactly. Let them know.
So I want to ask though, like, what's it like? You from Chicago? Thug life over there. What's it like? Tell me about what's it like living and being born out there and growing up in Chicago.
What's it like being born here? I think it's been a pretty fun experience. I've been here majority of my life. I mean, when I finished, I've been to a couple of other states or worked in other states as well, and it was just nothing like being back home. I feel like I'm comfortable here, even though we hear a lot of things about Chicago in the media. I guess you just really don't become a part of the things that I guess you see. We see a lot of things here, like the violence and just a lot of craziness here. But at the same time, it's home for me. And so I have enjoyed being here. I've enjoyed like having my friends here to do things with and start my business here. It's just been really fun. Really, really great experience for me. Like, I like it. I don't think that I would like any other place like here, honestly.
I feel it.
We got the best food.
Deep dish?
Really? No, see, I don't like deep dish pizza.
You don't like deep dish?
No, because I don't really like a lot of like tomatoes and stuff and slimy stuff. And so I don't like.
All right, so I'm flying to Chicago next week. Where should I go eat?
You gotta go to Home Run Inn Pizza. That's thin crust pizza. Even though I think they do have deep dish. What you into? You like to party and stuff? Because I'm not a partier, so I wouldn't.
I'm not a partier, but I will tell you this: I love, I love chicken. What else? I like HTV and Squad Creator Podcast. That's my life. Other than my
just came on a I thought he was on where, man. What was you auditioning? I was an audition right there.
Accordingly.
He said, "I love chicken."
I didn't hear the screen went out. Where you live at?
Canton, Ohio.
Oh, okay. We do have a couple of chicken places here that I guess a lot of people rave about. So we got it's like a south side, west side thing. So we got Harold's, that's an out south thing.
Oh yeah, Harold's. Okay.
Uncle Raymond is on the west side.
I heard Harold was the best. That's what you hear out here where I'm at. You hear that a lot. You go to everybody. My homeboy just came back from Chicago just a few days ago. He's talking about Harold's.
Okay, well you need to check out Harold's. We got a lot of nice places to eat. I don't know. It's a lot of nice Black-owned businesses, of course, here that you can check out. Nice restaurants here. So you gotta go on TikTok and find those. I don't know. I be in the house. I really don't be out like that.
See. I hear that. I understand that. Me neither. So let's talk. Give us some tips for beginners that want to get into this vinyl game.
Okay. Hold on.
Yo.
And really, you gotta get your lip gloss.
So for a beginner that's interested in getting in the t-shirt business, my number one thing would tell them is to do your research. A lot of people come to me about what my shirts look like, so I get a lot of DMs about that, and they be like, can you mentor me and all of those things? But I'm a pretty honest person. I'm not gonna take your money because I feel like there are so many different techniques out here, but you gotta pick the technique that works best for you and where you want to go and what it is that you're interested in. And so I tell them, do your research, figure out the different shirt making techniques, and then once you determine the one that you feel like you want to start with, and if it's HTV layering, you can always come to me for my classes. But once you figure out the technique that you want to start with, figure out the equipment that where you ain't got to spend a lot of money starting out. Figure out your equipment that you need for that, and build on the supplies and everything that you need for it. But starting out, don't go crazy with buying inventory and buying all these things. That doesn't matter. Learning your craft is what plays a major part in your success. Learning and mastering what it is that you do. So even if it's just one simple thing, one simple type of design, make sure you master that, and before you start like selling it to the people. So
right.
Find a technique. That's my number one thing to beginners. Find you a technique that you like. As I tell them up front, I'm like, my technique is one of the ones that is the cutest, but it takes the longest to do. And so if you're not interested in this type of thing, or if you're one of those people that want to make a lot of money, and maybe statement tees and those type of things are best for you. And maybe the HTV layering is something that you want to do occasionally. So find a technique that works for you and build on that.
Great advice.
Hey, Clever Creations. We got one more secret though that I don't know. I ain't discussed it, so I can't say we.
A secret.
But there's one more secret about HTV that a lot of people don't get that they don't know. We can heal. I don't know if any other process out there can heal. So for all my HTV lovers out there, just know you got you a shirt from 8 years ago, and that letter just so happened to just, flop over like that. Slap it with that heat press one time, it looked just like new. I swear.
Bro.
Man. You had me throwing. I'm like, we can heal. I was like, you threw me off for that. Lost me for a second. I'm like, huh? So yeah, that's real though, man. You just double back and pressing back down, though.
You press them back down.
Yeah, that ain't even nothing that I would tell someone, because people get to getting crazy with the iron and get to messing up their stuff. So we just tell them, don't iron, don't even do it. Don't even.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So if you have never been here before, man, we here every Thursday. You never know who's gonna be in this seat, man. Y'all tell a friend and tell a friend. Tap in, like, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. We bring out the dopest guests as you can see. So Squad Credit Podcast. We make history because we bring the community to you. And
that's so good.
So
bedroom to the boardroom.
Bedroom to the boardroom, period.
Clever Creations, you are by far one of my favorites to go down in history because I've been waiting to talk to somebody just as talented as you. No knock towards any of the past guests, but we greatly appreciate you coming out here and spilling all these gems.
Thank you for having me.
For sure.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we're going to bring you back one day when you talk about this new stuff. We're going to see what you rolling out.
And YouTube channel going to be popping. You're going to be about $500,000 in. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
well, yeah, that YouTube and all the stuff. Yeah. And then I'm about to tell on you right quick though. Y'all know this lady was when she came in when we was off camera. She came in all shy, and I was like, "Yeah, we ain't doing
You're
that."
not telling them nothing new.
Yeah.
I don't even know who on here, but if my family and friends on here, they know I'm outspoken, but they also know that I'm like, my friends balance me out. They are rowdy. My friends are loud, but they know I'm the quiet one, I'm the shy one or whatever. But when it comes to camera related things, let's not get it twisted. I'm gonna always say what I got to say. But when it comes to being on camera, I get and been talking to a crowd of people, I do get shy, but
you
not telling them nothing they don't know. I'm like this before my classes. They don't know.
Once that camera start rolling, you was like a duck in water out here. All that went out the window.
The first thing Seak said to you, too, was like, don't come on here acting like that.
He did check me.
Nah, because I was like, nah, y'all, I've been communicating with y'all like you was not shy. We ain't going for that. So tell the people where they can find you before we close this out and get back to living.
You all can find me on TikTok, Clever Creations by KK, Instagram, Clever Creations by KK. I'm guessing Facebook too. My Facebook was hacked, but for some reason my videos still go over there. So I guess you can find me on Facebook too on under Clever Creations by KK. Those are my social medias. Right now I'm really into Instagram a little more. I've given Instagram a little more of my time than my other social medias, but I'm gonna get back into my TikTok because I love teaching and making sure y'all understand what it is that I'm doing, teaching certain parts of my process, because you're not gonna see every single step, baby. You gotta book me for that. And so but I like explaining myself and all of that on TikTok, and that's my platform for all of those things. So I'm gonna get back into that, but Instagram has majority of my time right now. And so if you want to know about the things that I use when I'm making my shirts, I try to put that in the caption. A lot of times I try to put my settings in the captions as well. I try to do or give everything that I can to make sure that y'all have the information that you need to go and be great and do these same types of shirts. And so, because I'm not going to be making shirts forever. Actually, this time next year, I might not be behind the press. Well, I won't be behind the press. And so, my hope is that people that are coming up under me, my students, or even people that have learned from me, because that's the most rewarding thing, to get videos and pictures from people. Like, I get those all the time in my DM, and I try to repost them from people who say, just from your tips, like, I didn't even buy your class, and I was able to achieve these things. And so that is so refreshing. It's rewarding for me. Like, girl, you are talented. You actually giving out information that is valuable. And so I love what it is, very passionate about what it is that I'm doing. And I'm not one of those people. I don't care about telling you what it is that I do, because if you pulled up the internet today, my work can be easily spotted, even if you saw the same designs that somebody else did. So I don't really care about telling someone, what materials or what my steps were with doing it, because I'm not losing anything. Trust and believe. I can show you my DMs right now. I'm not losing out on anything. So.
Appreciate you. Yes. And Queen Bling, yes, this will be up for replay. Anybody that want to go catch it on the Squad Creative Podcast YouTube channel, man, y'all subscribe while you're over there.
Yes.
Clear it out, like the video, all the stuff. We're going to clip it up. You're going to be seeing it. We're going to get her floating around here. And so for everybody, thank you, KK, for joining in. It was dope. I'm glad you brought that Chicago and let that little shy lady in the car.
Next week we got the craft print, so y'all tune in.
Okay, I'll check y'all out the next
major episode, another major.
Next week's.
Yeah, appreciate you. So y'all have a good one. We will be back next Thursday. Thank you all again. See y'all next week.
Peace.
See you later.